What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to the second episode of the Black Hole Project, a perspective challenging YouTube series aimed at uplifting the Black community. Now, if you saw the first episode, you know that it was about mindset. This episode is going to be about, personal experiences or relationships with both white America and Black America. And what inspired this episode was a conversation that I had maybe 3 or 4 years ago with a very good friend of mine, Greg Gold. If you go back to about 2017, 2018, everything that I said in the last episode of this YouTube series, I felt the opposite. I agreed with the idea that America was a racist country. I agreed that I was oppressed. And it wasn't until I had this conversation with Greg that my mindset began to change. So growing up, Greg was a self-proclaimed gang member. He was a Crip. Greg had the long dreads and the gold teeth and the neck tattoos and the jeans that were 6 or 7 sizes too big. Greg would tell you, he was thugging back then. And so to see him openly supporting Donald Trump and openly supporting the Republican Party, which is a huge no-no in the Black community, was shocking to me. But me being me, I didn't write him off. This is somebody that I love and trust. So I reached out to Greg and I asked, hey man, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Or what do you know that I don't know to make you feel the way you're feeling? And so what Greg said to me next, or asked me next, is what really began to change my life. And Greg asked me if the way I'm feeling is based on my personal experiences with white America or based on what I've been consuming via the media and other people. And when I really sat down and thought about it, the way I felt wasn't based on my experiences, which is the craziest thing in the world, right? To have your entire mind shaped by outside influences or outside sources, right? I think the smartest thing we can do as human beings is to take our own personal experiences and apply them to our lives and have that be what guides us throughout life. And so that's what we're going to talk about today is personal experiences and how they genuinely impact your life, whether negative or positive. Now, have I had negative experiences with white people? Absolutely. Have any of those negative experiences been life changing in a negative way? Absolutely not. Okay. Yes, I've been called a dumb nigger. How did that affect me long term in the grand scheme of things? It absolutely did not. Yes, I've been denied a job based on the color of my skin. In one situation, I believe that was the case. How did that negatively impact me long term? It didn't. I went and got a job somewhere else like the next week that was better fitting, more enjoyable. So, again, these negative experiences I've had have not been life-changing. Now, when I think about the life-changing negative experiences that I have had in my life, oddly enough, they've been caused by either myself or other Black people. For example, I've made every poor choice a person can make, all right? I was also molested as a small child by a Black family member. That is absolutely life-altering, okay? For the longest time, I've had trouble, connecting sexually, even with my wife, right? Like, we've been together 6 years now. And I think recently, within the last couple years, I've developed a sexual connection with my own wife. But for many years, when people would talk about first kisses and first sexual experiences, that's the first place my mind would go. And naturally, I would have to lie about it, right? Some of the other things I can think of is the terrible relationship I have with my biological father, right? Like, I think I have abandonment issues because of him. Another thing that really sticks out is, not being able to mend a broken relationship with my little brother before being murdered by another Black man. And in a crazy turn of events, whatever you want to call it, the guy that murdered my brother was murdered by my brother Crazy, right? Shootout, and they both kill each other. But there's two black men taking the lives of other black men, and it's just something that happens too often. I don't know anyone personally that has been murdered by the police, any unarmed black men, but I know plenty of black men that have been murdered by other black men. And I think within the black community, nothing is more deadly or dangerous than other members of the black community. Now, naturally, I've had great experiences with black people as well, right? But I'm talking about the negative stuff because people seem to dwell on negative experiences that they've had with people, even if they're not life altering. All right, so there's that. Now let's talk about some of the positive experiences that I've had with white America. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I've had positive life-changing experiences with white people and zero negative life-changing experiences with white people. I think about people like Ed Donatel, who at the time when we met, he was the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. His son Tommy was a teammate of mine, and when I figured out that I wouldn't be graduating high school, I was written off by so many people, even my own parents. And Coach Donatel told me if I could go get my GED and show up every day and work out with him and his NFL guys, that he would make sure I get into college, and he did just that. I think about guys like Gabe Subry and Vince Carter. When I was a broke college student and I had fallen in love with CrossFit, but I couldn't afford to pay for a CrossFit membership anymore, those guys told me, hey man, keep coming to the gym, keep working hard, and if you can bring somebody else in, cool. If not, we don't care. Show up, keep working hard. That was life-changing, right? Because if you know me, you know how much I love CrossFit. I met my wife in a CrossFit gym. I could go on and on, just thinking about the positive experiences that I've had with white America. But I chose to talk about those few people because one thing that I have heard from black people is that white people will only help you if they're getting something in return. And honestly, if that were the truth, I'd be fine with that, right? Like someone benefiting from helping me is perfectly fine with me. Mutualism isn't a bad thing, right? Like if you're going to benefit from helping me out, so what? But those people did not benefit one bit from helping me out. So that's why I wanted to touch on those people real quick, or talk about those people. And so for me to sit back and say that I'm oppressed and America is a racist country would be a slap in the face to some of those white people that have lent me a helping hand along my way. But again, I understand why so many people feel the way they feel, because we have celebrities and athletes that are telling us these things and pushing this stuff on us, even if it's not our personal experiences. I remember Kyrie Irving saying that playing in the NBA was a form of modern day slavery. That's a terrible example of modern day slavery. You want to know what a great example of modern day slavery is? Modern day slavery, right? Like he said that like if we don't have women and children being kidnapped and forced into a life of sex work, I just watched Seaspiracy. They're kidnapping Asian people and sticking them on boats and making them fish for free, right? Like there's actual slavery going on. And to say that getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play a game that other grown men pay to play is modern day slavery is comical, to say the least. I mean, like that's crazy, right? But that's what's being pushed onto us. That's the kind of stuff that is shaping our mindsets. And man, we got to do better. We've got to, one, prioritize our own personal experiences over everything else. And two, we have to stop giving so much power to people that are powerless, right? Like just because a white person does a thing you don't like, that doesn't make all white people racist, right? Like maybe that person is just a dick, right? So man. So I'm challenging everyone seeing this, that if you do think America is a racist country or whatever, sit down and think about what your personal experiences have been with white America. What has been life altering for you in your life, both negatively and positively, and think about the root of those things. And I think you may start to kind of change your mind a little bit, like I did. I guess I'll stop ranting now, because that's all this series is going to be about. Me ranting and just trying to change your perspective on things. But yeah, I think that's all I've got, man. I'm tired. It's late. I'm still recovering from this eye procedure I had in Turkey and my hair transplant and all the other shit I was doing when I was gone. But yeah, man, sit down, think about your life and your own personal experiences, and see what it does for you. But until next time, I'm out.